Enlightenment, I would say, is non-dual awareness. You're an open kind of nerve, almost. And you're completely awake. And with that awareness and that awakeness, you don't recognize a self or an other. There's only the union of the two.
Enlightenment is something that's beyond everything, beyond everything. It's called nirvana. Nirvana. Today I came here to conduct Melam Pujas, regarding for world peace,
This time in our Zansa Institute organized this world peace prayer every 2 years in this time, and so this time we are doing this prayer for 10 days.
Buddhism for me is not just necessarily a philosophy, but a way of being, a way of interacting with your environment and your environment interacting with you in a very gross and subtle way. But also for it not to just kind of float by, there should be, moments of realization through whether you're sitting in Bodh Gaya or you're sitting in your living room and watching TV every once in a while, having an epiphany or something like this. But, as long as you are kind of moving in a forward direction on a path, I think that's kind of the more important situation.
Someone who has recognized the nature of mind and has established himself in this nature of mind has achieved enlightenment according to Buddha's teaching. So there is different practice according to school, different method, and different tools, you can say, no? Hindu have certain tools, Christian tools, Muslim tools, it's just tools. And enlightenment is the goal.
You know that in Buddhism, Buddha is the hero. I can say hero. We Buddhists consider Buddha is a man of Buddhism. So he got enlightened from here in this place, and this is the one of the most important place for Buddhists.
Like the Muslims want to go to Mecca, I think the Buddhists want to go to Bodh Gaya, and like maybe the Christians or the Jews want to go to Jerusalem, something like that.
This is the place in Bodh Gaya where 2600 years before Prince Siddhartha, he did meditation here under the Bodhi tree, and here he got the enlightenment here and he became Buddha here. but he was born in Nepal in the Lumbini forest, and his father, King Suddhodana Maharaj, he was the king of Kapilavastu.
The Buddha, being an ordinary individual, saw a problem with the world in his adolescence. Before that, he was kind of very sheltered, didn't know about any of the types of suffering until he went outside for the first time and experienced it.
He was born as a prince and he was living without knowing about the old people, about death, about illness.
He wanted to kind of find a path that would remove that for everybody, that they didn't have to experience that kind of suffering again and again and again. And he recognized the deep suffering that it was because he had been, maybe because he was so sheltered, and it was a huge shock value for him to see anybody elderly or sick or, dying or dead. So for him, I think that was, the first stone in the water to make all the ripples.
So since he's traveling from Nepal, Lumbini, Buddha birthplace took place, after the age of 29, he went to find truth. And he traveled all around the forest. When during the period of Buddha Shakyamuni, here, these places were covered with forest. So he traveled and he sit down there, that Buddha tree, around 6 years, and he find the truth. And this truth is so-called, I think, maybe enlightened.
भगवान बुद्ध जब अपना कपिल वस्तु से जब चले थे तो अर्धरात्रि में चले थे। अर्धरात्रि में वो निकल गए घर से। भ्रमण करते करते गया आ गए। गया में सभी जगह अपना घूमते वो आकर जो बोधि वृक्ष है पीपल का, वहाँ आके अपना बैठ गए और वज्रासन लगाए, अपना ध्यान करने लगे। वहीं पे उनको ज्ञान प्राप्त हुआ, सम्यक ज्ञान। सम्यक ज्ञान का अर्थ होता है जो सभी के लिए, सभी मानव के, सभी प्राणियों के लिए।
Sir, you see this big temple, sir? This temple name is Mahabodhi Temple. And total height of this temple, 180 feet and 52 meters. This temple, 30 feet, made by King Ashoka in 300 BC, 2300 years before.
सम्राट अशोक भी राजा बनने के लिए अपने 100 भाइयों को कत्लेआम कर दिए थे, ये आपको मालूम होगा। तब सारे उनकी अर्धांगिनी श्वेत वस्त्र धारण करके और चल ली युद्ध करने के लिए, गौ माता को साथ में आगे करके। तब उन्होंने विवश होकर त्याग दिया सारा राजपाट और बौद्ध धर्म को अपना लिया। इसके बाद भगवान बुद्ध जी को उन्होंने गुरु मान लिया और सारे देशों में बौद्ध धर्म का प्रचार का बीड़ा उठा लिया सम्राट अशोक ने।
the 12th century, the Bhaktiar Khiriji came here. He came here after burning Nalanda University. And he broken the temple upper part 30 feet, and he also break the Buddha statue here. And from this temple gate level, he covered this temple in the mud. So the Mahabodhi temple was 600 years under the mud. After that, in 1876, Alexander Cunningham came here. Lord Cunningham, the British archaeologist, he excavated this place and he repaired the Mahabodhi temple in 1883.
Destroy many times for just not really political reason. It's for just a narrow-minded reason. But this place is everything for Buddhism.
Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Om Mani Padme Hum.
Actually, my favorite place in the world, in this life, is the Bodh Gaya. I like most everything in the Bodh Gaya. Like Mahabodhi, the magical statue, Buddha statue is incomparable statue. No one you can find like this Buddha statue in this world. It's magical. Even if you just go inside, look at the hand, even if you don't have the faith, you just can feel something. The blessing, you can touch the blessing inside. Even if you, no matter what kind of believer you are, follower you are, you just come here, seated under the Buddha tree. The atmosphere is very different. Even if you don't do or don't chant anything, just sit under the Buddha tree. You don't want to go outside of this temple. Like that kind of feeling, almost spiritual, you will get here.
Before Buddha and Buddha time, many philosophy, many ideas, many things teaching. But the Buddha teaches how to the complete happiness. So he shows many ways. Monks life is a real monk life is very difficult. If you want to become monk, you practicing many steps.
He practiced quite hardly. He had to practice a lot. It was, even for himself, it has been a quite hard path and long path, even if he was already an exceptional being.
My family was actually Irish Catholic, but having met my teacher very young in life, I did go to Catholic school and things like this, but even then I was taking, children's books for Buddhism to Catholic school and things like this. So even from then on, it was quite well known that I was probably going to be a Buddhist rather than a Catholic. Actually coming into contact with it on like a PBS special or a public television channel in the US, where they had a series on the Buddha, and that kind of inspired me to want to go to the library and read some of the books that they had in the children's section and eventually go into the adult section. as time went on. But even at 16, I wanted to be a monk, and kind of had to make a promise to my mom that I would live a layperson's life first. And for the most part, I think it was better for it, because you get a job, you experience that kind of suffering, you fall in love, you get your heart broken, and things like this. I mean, reading in books and the most you can do is live vicariously through that character's feelings. You'll never be able to empathize unless you actually experience it yourself.
You know that actually in our country most of the people follow Buddhism since it's from our parents. So I can say that I became a Buddhist because of my parents. Once upon a time I was Buddhist, but lately I'm learning Buddhist philosophy, and lately I become a truly Buddhist now.
Buddhism mean everything for me. So actually, Buddhist already kind of part of our life, part of our goal, part of Buddhism already my path, my aim, but basically everything for me.
Buddhism changed my lifestyle a lot. So before, I'm one of the most egoist person. Ego, jealousy, some kind of greedy also. So by learning such things, it can change my world, I say. Monk life is very good, I can say. Why monk life is very good means that each and every person, each and every human being needs happiness. So yes, in monks we don't have any tension about our parents, I say, about our marriage, about our girlfriend, boyfriend. We don't have any tension about this. We are being as a monk is very free, happy-minded, open-minded mind. I see.
If people study and practice Buddhism, they can learn how to meditate, and they can learn how to practice ethical discipline and morality and patience, and they can develop good qualities, and they can learn how to have loving kindness and compassion to each other, and they can learn how to be honest, and they can learn how to benefit beings and help other beings and not to harm.
I think meditation will help actually in your many things. Not only help you mentally stable, but also it helps your health, physical health as well. And meditation also help you to basically to help you to maintain your focus if you do properly and correctly.
अभी तो कम से कम 3-4 हज़ार आदमी आ ही जाता है एक दिन में। ये इंडिया का सबसे बड़ा स्टैचू है।
ये 80 फीट स्टैचू के नाम से फेमस है। द ग्रेट बुद्धा स्टैचू इसको बोलते हैं।
किसने बनाया है स्टैचू?
ये जापान गवर्नमेंट बनाया है।
18 नवंबर 1989 में दिस ओपनिंग एम दलाई लामा।
ये यहाँ स्टैचू इसलिए बनाया गया हुआ है कि बौद्ध भगवान 80 वर्ष तक जिए थे, इसलिए इसका प्रतिमा 80 फीट का बनाया गया हुआ है।
इंटरनेशनल पैलेस है ये, वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज में नाम आता है इनका।
इसलिए शांति के प्रति बनाया गया हुआ है इसलिए।
It's like any pilgrimage place, any tirtha, you call this Indian, no? In any tirtha you feel that thousand, million of people have come here. So it's grown with a lot of energy, no? And the merit of people, the practice of people, so it pushes you, to do your best. So it's very inspiring.
What do you think should be the role of Buddhism in today's chaotic world?
Maybe a bit of a lighthouse. It doesn't necessarily have any direct interaction, it just casts a light on the world that everybody sees. Not necessarily to see it in the way that they do it, but to remove any kind of ignorance with the world that surrounds them. And it tends to remain there for most people's lives. Either through limited experience of never leaving a hometown or their own country, but just being awake and interacting with your environment, being very very open to it, not necessarily closing yourself off or avoiding even awkward or embarrassing situations.
You see, the whole world seems chaotic. World leaders, politicians, and important figures, they need to learn the Buddhism, which talking about care more others, understand more others, put your foot in others' shoes to understand others, not only one nation or the whole world. So then the Buddhist message, which said the main solution is insightful and compassion and loving kindness. I think this is that will help the poor, not only one particular place or one particular religions. It will help the whole, the whole world. In the Buddhism have many different traditions. So all how can the harmony can gathering here and chant together without even they don't care what the noisy others makes. Just focus on practice, wouldn't disturbing others, respect each other, fully respect each other. So this is the example whole world can live like together. It can take as a model in Bodh Gaya. The Bodh Gaya is the most or the holiest place in the world according to Buddhism, because Gautam Buddha just enlightened under this Bodhi tree behind this pagoda. So it's where he fully enlightened it. We believe this Buddha, not only this present Buddha, but the thousands of Buddhas will be enlightened at this place. And even in the Buddhism, believe that in the end of the world, but Bodh Gaya will remind it. So that's why we call the Vajra seat. So it's an indestructible place.
बुद्ध ने ये नहीं कहा कि मेरा बौद्ध धर्म अपनाओ, चाहे कोई भी भगवान जिनकी दर्जा भगवान का मिला है, ये नहीं भगवान बोलते हैं कि आप मेरे धर्म को अपनाओ। मैं जो बताया हूँ या जो मैंने कर्म जैसा किया हूँ उस कर्म के पथ पर चलो। हर धर्म का निचोड़ यही है, किसी भी धर्म हो, कोई भी धर्म हो, सभी जीवों पर, चाहे वो वृक्ष ही क्यों नहीं हो, दया करना।